Hey, hey, how's it going, folks? I'm out with the dogs. Both dogs, which is absolutely wonderful. Clover's made a really good recovery. She's on medication, so antibiotics, painkillers, and stomach settlers, I think. And she's been eating chicken and rice. So she ate last night, and she ate this morning, and she ate again tonight, and she's been drinking as well. She had a big drink of water earlier on today, which is just great. So it's lovely to have them both out. She's walking beside me, very upright and proudly with her tail where it should be, helping her balance as she walks. So I just got home, had a cup of coffee. One of those cups of coffee that, you know, stays with you, tastes good. Really good cup of coffee. So where have I been? Well, I've been out on the Open Studios tour again today. I'm pretty exhausted, I have to say. I've actually driven around the whole island today. Something I've not done. I can't even remember the last time I would have done it. And we started in Whiting Bay, basically where we finished yesterday. We set off around 11ish and tootled around Whiting Bay. Started out with some really good enthusiasm and spoke to Lynn first. Lynn does felting. I forget the name of her operation. Lynn's Art on Arran, I think it might be. Something like that. And it's interesting because when she was displaying at the Makers Fair at Brodick Castle a couple of weekends ago, her artwork was probably the art that stood out most to Lorraine and to Freya. And Lorraine was like that, can we get this, can we get that? And then she said no. And obviously she knows we can't afford stuff like that, and said nah, it doesn't matter. So while they were in the castle having a look around, Lorraine, Hamish and Freya all went into the castle, and I stayed outside with the dogs, and I sneaked back to Lynn's stall, and I bought them one thing each, which I sneaked back home through a friend of mine, and I'm going to keep in the wardrobe until Christmas, because it's not very often that I have a present for my wife that she actually likes. And so I'm quite pleased, I think, to have had the foresight to put something away for her. And when we were visiting Lynn today, Freya was with me, and she was saying, oh, can I have that, can I have that? And so I had to say, we've been through this, Freya, you know, you can't afford it, and blah, blah, blah. So it was fun, but we got round the whole south end, as far as Blackwater Foot, and it was interesting, again, seeing the different artists, and getting to see different responses to my turning up with a camera in my hand, and learning myself how to try and disarm them a little bit, you know, make it seem okay, not scary, and it was interesting. Funnily enough, the last guy that I went to see was in Pirnmill, and he's got a fantastic studio there, and he said he was a retired school teacher. And here comes Ben.
How you doing?
Hello, Ben.
What are you up to?
Just taking the dogs a wee wander. Yourself?
Pizza.
Pizza?
Yeah.
Nice. Now, conversations with Cams, eh? A wee meeting in the Whiteside Woods. White House Woods. We just call them the Whities, which in Scotland is actually quite funny, because Whitey means to throw up after smoking too much hash. So this is the Whitey Woods, and quite often you'll find people, school kids actually, smoking weed at the end there where we just had our little meeting. 'Cause it's right next to the high school. We didn't do that at school. When we were high school kids, we'd have the odd cigarette now and again behind the techie block, but never any of that stuff, you know what I mean? Changed days. So where was I? We got as far as Pirnmill, didn't we? And the Pirnmill artist was, I think he said he was a teacher or a lecturer or something. Anyway, he was quite talkative and very responsive to the camera. It looked like it wasn't his first rodeo. He was very comfortable on tape, and he explained his media, his influences, and where he's from and stuff. It was really eye-opening. But he is not going to be open, according to the brochure, tomorrow. So we had to get to him today, and that meant missing out a few on the way past. So between Blackwater Foot and Pirnmill, I think we passed 2 or maybe 3 other open studios that we didn't have time to get to because of the hurry to get to Pirnmill. And then we thought that we'd maybe have time to get to Catacall from Pirnmill and catch the open studio there, but we didn't. It was 5 o'clock before we got out of Pirnmill, so we came round through Lochranza anyway, because a friend of mine, Mike Bailey, has just recorded some video. Well, I recorded the video of his playing some of his own songs in Crofters. It was actually a kind of Crofters project. And one of Mike's songs is called Carry Me Back to Lochranza. So we stopped in Lochranza and I shot some B-roll. And my gimbal ran out in Lochranza. So then I thought, well, I'll do it on the tripod. So I was going to go and shoot Lochranza Castle. So I did, took the tripod along, but then I realised that without movement, shooting a stationary object is kind of daft. And without the gimbal to give me that sort of camera movement, I couldn't do it smoothly on the tripod because it's not that kind of, you know, fluid head thing on the tripod. It's just a cheap little travel tripod. Well, not cheap actually, it was £100 because it's carbon fibre and lightweight. It's a Benro tripod. So I couldn't really use that for any motion shots, and so I basically packed in and said, nah, I'll come back tomorrow. I'd already got some Lochranza B-roll before the gimbal packed in, so I might have enough, we'll see. That leaves me with a bit of a dilemma because we have to go back round the North End tomorrow to catch what we didn't get today. And tomorrow I'm supposed to be working at the post office to cover my part-time employee's lunch break. And that's going to be a bit of a challenge because we're going to be going round the North End to catch the places we didn't get, as well as to catch the ones in Brodick and Lamlash, and the ones between, so Corrie, Sannox, that's it I think. There aren't many up that road, and Brodick and Lamlash are going to be quite compact. In other words, there won't be much travel between the studios, so it's just about doable if we manage to get out early and, you know, be efficient with our time. But it is a problem for getting back to the post office in time to cover my part-time employee's lunch break. Which is kind of daft because I don't mind if she closes, but for some reason she prefers not to. So I think I'll need to call her when I get home and let her know that I will try and get there, but that I may not manage it, and so she should be prepared just to cover it herself. She's done it before. She's a good egg. But yeah, I'm tired. It's very tiring. When we finished the south end, we started heading a bit north, and I was getting hungry, I was getting tired, and I really could have done with a break, as we had yesterday when we stopped for a cup of tea in Whiten Bay. And Freya was saying, no, we can't, we've not got time to stop. So it was getting difficult remaining enthusiastic, and I think maybe some of the artists could sense that I wasn't quite as genuine as I was yesterday. I don't know. It's an interesting character trait of mine that I find social interaction quite challenging, and so it always takes energy, and when I'm not tired and not hungry, I can do it. When I'm starting to flag a bit, it gets much more challenging, and that's what was happening. I could feel it happening. And when we got to Blackwater Foot, we went into Cameron's store and got myself a quiche, which was absolutely lovely, by the way. I don't know if it was a Woolies one or one that they made themselves. I got a quiche Lorraine, and Freya got a quiche broccoli and cheese, I think. And she got a can of bars juice. What flavour? Rhubarb and custard. I'd never seen it before. I thought, OMG, why would this even exist? And Freya said it was actually quite nice. I had a little taste. It wasn't. Very, very sugary, very sweet, cloying. But she seemed to like it, so good for her, eh? All right, Freya. So yeah, Freya's up for it tomorrow. So we'll need to make sure we get out at a decent time. There'll probably a few in Brodick Lumlash that we could skip because they're actually shops, like Simon Thorburns Pottery Shop and Island Porcelain in Lumlash. They'll be open every day, so I mean I really could pop in and catch some chat and some footage anytime. So that takes the pressure off a little bit. I'll find which ones are going to be available outside of the weekend programme, and then concentrate on the ones that are not, particularly the ones at people's homes, as a lot of them are, where their home studios are. So that's the plan. Not much else to talk about today. It's been a really good weekend. It's been a good creative space to put myself into, to find the courage to get out of my comfort zone and go and create something that I find challenging. And I think it's been a really good therapeutic, creative use of my time. And I'm very pleased that I had the idea and the inclination to do it, and the encouragement from Lorraine. She's been fantastic, as always. Poor love, she's sitting home at the moment working on some urgent translation work. So, I mean, she's not going to be able to cover my lunch break tomorrow. Otherwise, she most certainly would, as she always does. She's absolutely brilliant that way, supporting me. So, I will sign off for today. I'll say thank you very much for listening. Please give me some feedback. If anyone is actually listening, I don't know. If you are, let me know. It would be nice to hear from you. Just let me know whether you think this is useful, valuable. But in fact, I find it to be so. And so I'm going to keep doing it, I think. Yep, that's me. So bye for now. I'll speak to you tomorrow. Bye.